welcome to Stem Cell University. I am Katana.
And I am Patty. Our Stem Cell University channel is here for educational purposes only. We do not intend to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. Always consult with a physician or other qualified healthcare provider before embarking on a new treatment, product to use, diet, or fitness plan. Hello, Leah. So nice to have you on our channel.
Good morning, ladies. How are you guys doing?
So we are excited to have you on our channel.
Well, my background is interior design and architecture. I had a 30-year career in interior design and architecture, and I left that world about a year and a half ago when I stumbled upon some amazing new light therapy technology. And now I am in the health and wellness sector. And it's been just a passion for me to align myself with health and wellness and taking care of our bodies and taking care of the gift we have, which is our health. I'm a fitness instructor as well. I don't have this hat on. It's called Row House. It's a franchise and it's a rowing studio. If you've ever been on a rower, like in the gym, this is a studio. We have 22 machines in it, and there's a platform and a coach, and it's all to music. And it's quite frankly a great workout. If there's any row houses around you, which I think there are, Patty.
Yes.
Check out rowing. It works 86% of your muscles, and it is amazing for your abs and lower body. And it's for every body type.
I love it.
Low impact. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, and that's huge in taking care of ourselves. Just change one little thing. It's never too late, is what I tell people.
That's very true too. It's never too late to change what you're doing. My dad used to tell me you can't get an old dog to do new tricks, but an old dog could feel better.
Well, and an old dog could do new tricks if the old dog would tell itself it could do new tricks. But, it's unfortunately that we're not trained that way, right? And not that people mean that in a literal sense, but that's programmed into it. It's like money doesn't grow on trees. I know I heard that a time or two growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My grandmother, my mom, my dad, and I'm like, well, isn't money made out of trees?
Well... And money actually is just an energy. It's just actually a frequency if we got right down to it. But that's a whole nother podcast.
Yes, that's right. We were actually talking about money and how money has the pyramid on it and how interesting the power of the pyramid is. So we'll definitely talk about that.
With the third eye at the top of the pyramid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is why we're interviewing you, because we understand that you have also been using this wonderful light technology. I mean, come on. It's been life-changing. I'm not one that's got an amazing testimonial other than I have always, I'm single and I don't have kids. And I've helped take care of my grandmother and, now with my mom is 90. And I don't have that. So I've always prided myself in trying to stay active. I've always worked out. I've always worked out with personal trainers for as long as I can remember, even when I lived in foreign countries. So for me, when I first saw this technology, I did a Zoom call with Dr. Stacy and Laura on Monday morning, and I called them Tuesday morning and signed up. And just by reviewing the information that we had back then, which isn't anywhere near to what we have now, but watched a couple videos and signed up because I knew what this was. For me personally, this was my insurance policy to stay healthy on the inside. And it was also a chance for me to have a redo, a redo. What was I doing to my body when I was in my 20s? I know I was drinking a lot. I know there was a lot of that. Doing probably smoking marijuana. There was a lot of things that I put in my body. And now, where I've been detoxing it all out for 19 months using this technology, now I have a chance to start really focusing on what I'm putting in my body, making sure I'm hydrated. You know, if there's a reason why I've always heard hydrate, but now we know why. I'm looking at all those great cells in those pictures behind you. Imagine what some of those cells would look like if some of them were dehydrated. They can't communicate with each other. So, you know, I've learned through this technology why we need to hydrate. And so now everyone that takes my rowing classes, my crew, we call them a crew, because that's what I feel like with this business.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I always type in my, you know, good morning crew. It's because we're all a crew. We all go further together. And it's the same thing when there's so many parallels with rowing, because we all go further together. We have to all stay in swing together, because if we don't, you've got some people going this way, it's not going to work. But when we all row together, we all go much further. So that really, so many parallels with this company, with this business, with the people that we get to help. You know, you ladies, we were talking about relationships. This, and I was talking to a lady earlier. She was 76 years old. She's been praying for this technology, and we have been on the phone for over an hour. So I'm glad we changed our time to this time. But she'd been praying for something, and here we have this technology. And again, just alignment. I know you both know how I feel about alignment. And I totally went off and forgot where I was going with that topic, but it
changed your life.
Being able to help people, there's nothing that, you know, I just teared up on the phone with her talking about the potential to help people. You know, we had an event here in Houston a couple of weeks ago, or back in December, and I was talking to you about earlier about Dr. Tristan that came down from Kansas City to talk at our event. She's an MD. But, and again, off track, talking about, the event. I'd gotten up and they had asked me something. And one of the things that I realized was that I had been praying for many years of asking God what was my purpose. You know, there had to be more. I volunteer, I give, I do all the things, job, bills, all the things. But there had to be something else. But I was secretly saying to myself, but don't make it too difficult, right? I mean, you got your friend that does the music ministry at church and the ministry of this, and, you know, that's time, it takes time, things, right? But make it easy. And then all of a sudden he brings this patch technology. It doesn't get any easier than this, because this is a gift we have to share with people, and we have to share. Yeah. It's amazing.
And it's so easy. I mean, seriously.
It's so easy.
And what does it do?
Easy.
What does this little thing do?
Well, you want me to just kind of explain a little bit in the technology? Well, peel one of the pieces of sticker off and hold it up close to your camera.
Right there.
That's it.
Yeah, so, and flip it around so they can see. It's completely sealed on the other side. It looks the same. And what it is it looks like a little piece of silk fabric in there. But the middle part of it, it's made up of organic amino acids, salts and sugar crystals, and oxygen, and it forms a crystal structure that's then embedded in that what looks like a piece of fabric. And it's a specific blend of all of those ingredients that form this crystal structure. And what I envision it to be, you know, when they flood and they're making sea salt, how that all crystallizes. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, that reflective kind of molecules that bind together in a specific way. And what it does is it creates a reflector, if you will, in simple terms. And once you put it on your body, our body heat, that 98.6 degrees that we all are, right? And if we were to be outside, we couldn't see our bodies unless we had night vision goggles. And then we could actually see the colors, the greens and yellows. And just a little tidbit I heard, I might have been from David Schmidt, it might have been Dr. Stacy, but that low-level infrared heat that we emit actually is about 2 inches off your body, is how far. So that's why we say don't put the patches in your pocket, because it just has to be within that much of a radius
Mm-hmm.
to start activating.
Mm-hmm.
And it signals
And it goes
your body.
right through the clothes.
It goes through the clothes. Absolutely, it does, because it's that infrared light. That light is penetrating the clothes. It's penetrating whatever.
And it goes through this little sticky too, right? So if you have it in your pocket, it starts activating.
Yeah. Well, and you want to keep, just don't put it in your pocket. So then what happens is once our body heat reflects back into our body, it signals a peptide in our liver to activate, and it's called GHK copper peptide. And there's a great website called reverseagingwithghk.com, and there's a Dr. Lauren Picard that has done over 50 years of clinical research, 5,000 different studies that talk about what GHK does to our body. And one of the things GHK does in our body is it stimulates and turns on our stem cells. So stem cells, I don't know if a lot of people that I talk to on the daily, they've heard of the word, they don't really know much about it. I didn't either. What I learned over the course of the last 19 months, or just within the first few days, is that we're born with a lot of stem cells, right? When we're young, if we break a bone or we cut ourselves, we heal pretty quick because we have millions of stem cells working to heal those wounds. Stem cells are the only cell in our body that morphs into other cells. Any tissue, organ that needs repair, stem cells will go and repair that. Mm-hmm. And having these stem cells turned on every day that are dormant, by age 35, we have 50% of them that have gone dormant, which is the sad part. A lot of people that you talk to think middle-aged is 50, middle-aged is 35, based on our cellular age, which is what's important. The outside age, that's not the important piece. It's our cellular age is what's important. And then by age 65, we only have 8 to 10% of our stem cells still healing themselves. And I'm just 3 years shy of 60. So for me to have my stem cells turned on every day, sign me up. I'll put a patch on every day for the rest of my life. So it's just amazing technology. Clinical studies, you guys. Clinical studies are there. It's backed by science. The technology's backed by science. It's patented. And one of the biggest things too, it's an 18-year-old company. David Schmidt just didn't show up on the stem cell scene 3 years ago when this patch hit the market. No, he's been studying this technology for 20 years, and he knew 20 years ago stem cells are the way of the future. They're the way to people's health, and he figured out a way to turn them back on. Mm-hmm. And it's just an exciting time to be in this arena of this stem cell. In fact, the lady that I talked to earlier, she was trying to explain it to her poor husband, who needs it, by the way. And she told him, because he knows stem cells, she called it stem cell regeneration and just kind of left it at that. And that says a lot. If you know anything about stem cells, that they're the cell that heals. So yeah, it's some amazing technology.
Yes, it is. Thank you for that, Leah. It's a huge, powerful technology that we believe is going to consume our world one by one. We're touching each other's heart, teaching each other how this technology works. Mm-hmm. This is very important for us. And for me, I'm very thankful that David Schmidt gave it to the people instead of big corporations or, it's good for us. It brings money in. I'm sure that.
Well, and that's part of his mission is to help people gain their health back and their wealth, if that's what they choose. Mm-hmm. But you can't do the wealth part if you don't have the health part. But for a company to offer you those as a pair, it's the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. For
and
sure.
How do you find it? How do you find that when you see someone, do you take a little conversation with them Do you find it that it's easy for them to receive the information of this technology? How hard is it for you to share? What is your process?
My process is, I just shared this story a little while ago with this lady, and it's probably going to make me, with Esther, it's probably going to make me tear up again. But you got to listen to your heart, and your heart is God guiding me. I was in, and it was last year during the summer, I was in Memorial Park here in Houston, and it's a 3-mile beautiful run, and a lot of runners go there. And I was there, it was probably 10 o'clock in the morning. And I was coming around probably 2/3 the way through. And the trail's a 3-mile track, and inside it's wooded area, and there's benches and all the great things about the trail. And there was an elderly man shuffling his feet through the grass to get back up onto the trail on his walker. And it was starting to get hot outside. And I passed by and I just turned around because for me, God told me I needed to talk to him. And so I stopped myself and I turned around and I instantly said, okay, God, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I walked up to him and I just started talking to him. And I said, hi, I said, how are you? Because he looked hot, first of all. He was probably in his 80s and he had a walker, and I didn't see any water. And you guys know how I feel about water. And I said, something made me stop. God made me stop because I needed to talk to you. He told me to come over and talk to you. And he said, I had been praying that God would send someone, but he didn't tell me anything else. So we went and sat down on the bench. And so to make a long story short, I sent Daniel, I took my patch off of him and stuck it on him. And I sent him a nice set in the mail. He gave me his address. And he lived with his niece, I think, and she would bring him to the park. I did fuss at him about his water. I told him, don't ever come back to the park without water. I said, there's plenty of room on your little walker, the little scooter thing for water. And I hadn't heard from him, but that's okay. It took me out of my comfort zone because God led me to do that. So it came from a place of the heart is probably the long answer to that question. Do I see people every day, maybe in the grocery store, that are in some kind of health situation that's apparent? Do I go outside of my comfort zone every time and go out, reach out to them? I don't. Mm-hmm. It's a process that we each have to grow through because there are a lot of people praying for it. We just have to get out of our comfort zone and bring it from a place of the heart that you can maybe help them out of this health situation that is apparent that they're in. When you look at it as, again, it's that little gift from God that we have seen as partners in this business, all of the amazing things that it does for people, because we do those Patching podcast testimonial calls where we've got thousands of recordings from people that suffer with so many debilitating health symptoms that are finding relief. So we have to ask, and that's how I do it.
That's beautiful, Leah. I've never heard you say anything like that before, and that right there really touches my heart. It is a beautiful way that you do that. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, you're welcome. And let me tell you guys, I see people a lot go to the post office, they're everywhere, and one of these days I hope to have just 50 sets of samples in my bag and just handing them out to people without any questions. That's one of my visions.
Beautiful.
I understand that. And I was actually at the post office this morning because yesterday I was sending out a sample to, it'll probably make me cry too, to one of my clients when I ran my concierge business in Colorado. And she has such a dear heart. And I was talking to her the other day, and I told her, I said, God's laid it on me. I need your address. And she goes, oh, honey, it's okay. because she's living with her daughter now, so I didn't have her address. So I called again, and I actually got her daughter on the phone, and her daughter answered. I said, I would like to send some technology and information to you. Can I get your address? And she goes, sure. And then I asked her, what do you know about stem cells? And she goes, a little bit. We talked a little bit. And then I talked to my friend, Laura, and she goes, oh, Katana, you're such a dear heart. You've always been very kind, very loving, and always willing to share. And I said, well, I know you've been praying to God for something because God's telling me to send something to you. And
Yes.
he goes, well, she goes, no, honey, it's too late for me. It's okay, but I'm going to pray for you to make your life better and for you to get your mission done.
That's very sweet. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. You know what? One of the things when I was talking to Esther this morning, this business, if you aren't interested in building relationships with people, which I think is what God wants us to do, is to help each other, and that's going to involve building relationships with people, this is not the business for you, because that's what this is. This is about building relationships. It's about going on a health journey. It's about having people trust you because you trust in this technology. It's building relationships.
Absolutely.
You know, we're on this health journey together. We want to lock arms with everybody around the world. We want to share this. We want it to spread like wildfire.
Absolutely.
To everybody. 80 countries. When you're in 80 countries and growing,
Yeah, and you're not limited either. You can pick up the phone and you can call what? You can call where? You can call
any country.
Any country.
Thailand. I don't know all of them. There's so many.
But you can call anyone.
South Africa. I've got a team of doctors in South Africa that are patching people. I've got a team of doctors in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong group, I don't know them. I've just met them. They're in my organization though. So you just never know where things are going to happen and where things are going to grow for people that do choose to grow their wealth. You know, but you know, one of the things that I've learned too about this growing the wealth is, yes, we see the wealth that just a few people up above us are making, but you've also got to be willing to grow your mind, to grow your mindset, to read, to understand, and it's just going to change your world. And I'm in the process of doing that. You know, some of the great books that I would not have ever known or been turned on to if it had not have been for LifeWave, because of Dr. Stacy. Mm-hmm. She's done all these books. She's read all these books. They've helped her in her business of 17 years in multi-level marketing make millions of dollars, mm-hmm. right? And thank goodness for that. That helped her care for her child for the last 15 years in a wheelchair and try every kind of therapy, expensive therapies in stem cell regeneration. That, you know, thank goodness. So, you know, the business opportunity's there, but when you've got something that you can share from the heart, when they say find something that's your passion, so it becomes not a job. When it comes from the heart, it's not a job.
No.
You know, everyone knew I was leaving to fly to Florida this week, and like, oh, let's connect when you get back. I go, no, ma'am, we need to connect today because you need this today. You don't need this in 2 weeks when I get home. That's how important this is.
Exactly.
So, but it's not work for me. It's exciting to share.
See, I find it that people say, okay, well, let me look at it, you know, I'll get back to you. And nobody.
And that's okay. They moved to a different list. They moved to a 2-week list. Okay. You know, Dr. Stacy said, follow up, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. Mm-hmm. And, you know, how does the conversation go? Hey, girl, it's been a couple months since we've talked. I know you probably haven't had a chance to do any research, and the message probably fell down to the bottom of your list. So Dr. Stacy does the 2-day, 2-week, 2 month, which I have tried to start incorporating, and I'm trying to get my books all more organized. But that 2-month mark, it may sound like, and maybe it's a voice clip versus a text. They need to hear the excitement, you guys. Somebody knows within the first 5 seconds of my voice that I've got excitement and passion, and they're going to feel that through the message that I leave them. But maybe it sounds like, hey, girl, I know it's been a couple months since I've reached out, and I'm sure that this message got pushed down to the bottom of your thread, and you haven't had a chance to look at this technology. But I have learned so much in the last few months. Check out what this made me think of you, and then send a patching podcast testimonial call of maybe some health issue that they are struggling with that you personally know of. And if not, it's hey, check out this 3-minute video. Look at the science. You really do need to know about this technology. I know you've always prided yourself in trying to stay healthy, or maybe it's you've prided yourself in not wanting to take medications. This technology is an insurance policy that you can probably get off all your medications if you do this technology for long enough and let your stem cells, just, again, it just depends. But there's so many things we can follow up with, even if it's something on glutathione, but make it short. Make the first thing that you reach out with, especially in a follow-up after 2 months, a 3-minute video. Not some of the longer things, not some of the stuff with, all the clinical studies, all the things, the testimonials, the video. It's a lot of stuff for some people. Go short and sweet. Here's what this is. Does this intrigue you? If it doesn't intrigue you, that's okay. Hope all is well. Stay in touch. Yeah. Zero attachment is important too. In any name that you put on your list, zero attachment to it. I will say to people when they come to my markets, because I've got a lot of customers that come back and visit me, but any new people, you know what, buy it, don't buy it. I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm just trying to share this information. Now, if you want to try it, I'm happy to help you do that. But I want people to do their research. I want people to watch some videos. I want them to research. I want to make sure I'm sending them the right things to research. Sending that health tracker. If, get those health trackers out to people. Tell them, please print this. The second page, rate yourself from 0 to 10 on 16 different things that you may not realize aren't so great in your life. Maybe it's your sleep. Maybe you don't get good sleep. Maybe you feel like you wake up and you just can't get up. You're dragging out of bed. What if you could wake up, put your feet on the floor, get up and walk and move and go and just ready to go when your feet hit the floor? Energizing the cells, getting those stem cells back to that repair and rejuvenation, getting all of our body systems back into balance. Who doesn't want stem cell rejuvenation? Sign me up. Now that I know what they do for our body, it's big.
It's definitely
it's
understanding.
Big.
People don't understand. We haven't been taught much about what stem cells do. I find it that when you go out in the public and start asking questions, do you know what stem cells are? It's crickets. They don't know. No one knows.
No, they don't know. But that's why we're here. That's our job.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm willing
we're
to
educators,
take that job.
We're light workers. And we can do it every day because we see people every day. We have people in our phone, lists of people in our phones. We have thousands of friends in Facebook.
Yeah.
Message, if they respond, great. If they don't, that's okay too. And I tell my close friends, just remember who brought this technology to you first, because this company, these patches will be a household item in 10 years, just like Kleenexes, just like Q-tips. Patches will be a house, and we want to be a part of that revolution. Yes. We want everyone to be a part of that revolution. It's too good not to share. Yes. It's too good. This gal that I talked to last week on Friday, I did a Zoom with her and her husband on Saturday. She joined on Sunday. We Zoomed with her mother this morning. And that she's been suffering with something that's not diagnosed by doctors. They can't figure it out. And she feels like she's choking when she eats anything. She can't eat solid food. So I'm excited to be on this health journey with her. How long is it going to take? I don't know. She doesn't know. But our bodies know. Our bodies know where the stem cells need to start going to repair. And I hope she's going to find relief in a lot of the things, because she's got a laundry list of things, and for anyone, make a list of those things if you suffer with health issues, and watch how quick do we check them off. Create a journal. We want to journal our health. We want to be able to look back in 10 years and 30 years and 50 years to this time in our life where we turned it all around. I do. I want to be able to sit back in 50 years, 75 years, and look back at all the people that we have helped live a healthy lifestyle for as long as we're blessed to be on earth.
That's right.
And only God knows how long that is. But we want to be joyful. We want to help people. We want to be healthy. We want to live our life, enjoy every day for as long as we can, every day.
Thanks to David
Amen,
Schmidt.
sister.
Amen.
Yes, David Schmidt. David Schmidt. He is
warrior.
That's one of the things that instantly sold me on this company in that less than 24-hour span of when I got the information from Dr. Stacy and Laura, was that I knew instantly after watching just a couple videos that he was a godly Christian man and understands that what he has and his technology and all of his ideas and his inventions, his creations, are divinely dropped down and downloaded to him from his God. And that sold me on this company alone. For him to own this technology and be divinely guided on a daily basis. The man is divinely guided. Do I want to follow that man? Amen. I want to follow that man. I'll be one of his followers, 100%. And that's what we want. We want people that, that are open. And I tell myself all the time, I tell people all the time, you guys, when we talk to people, if it's their time in that relationship with God, because we know God has us to give them something that can help them. If it's not their time, it's not their time, and that's okay. We're still here. We're going to still give it through God, but it's God. If they don't line up with their God, they're not going to be open to receive it, and that's okay. We're going to keep looking for the ones that are.
Yes, we will. And this is all of our missions, right, Katana?
That is very true. While you was telling your story, I was thinking about the event I did at my dad's cell last year, and this little lady named Vicky, and she came walking through with her little cane bent over, and she was a little grumpy, and I was like, "Oh, honey, can I help you?" Because it was laid on my heart to really talk to her. And I asked her if I could patch her that day. And she goes, "Well, if you can take away my pain." I said, "I can't guarantee anything, but let's patch you up." And I called her later in the evening, and she goes, "You know what? I was driving down doing all, because we have like 185 cells through Nebraska. It's whole Nebraska. And everybody goes to all these different cells. So she'd been going through different places, and her friend dragging her out of the car, in the car, out of the car. And she's like, "If you drag me one more place, it's over." And so the lady said, "Okay, let's go to a couple more places, and then we're done." So what happened was that when she hit after she seen me, the second place after she hit, she goes, "Hey," and she smacked her friend. She goes, "I don't have the pain that I did before. And this seat is much more comfortable."
Wow.
And her friend goes, "Well, do you want to do more?" And she goes, "Yes." And she goes, "I didn't get home until midnight that night." And
Wow.
she goes, "Throughout the day, I was sitting there going, this can't be real. This can't be real. This really happened to me." So she ordered. And
Well, that's a great testimony, girl.
Yeah, it was just mind-blowing for her. And then she'd been using it for about 2 months, and she goes, "Well, my pain is seceding more, but it really wasn't. It was really going away." And what she was doing wrong was patching all the ice waves in one spot. And so, I gave her like 2 weeks. She took 2 weeks off. So I called her back and I said, Miss Vicki, and she goes, yes. I said, how you feeling? I'm just calling to see how you're doing. And she goes, well, you know what? Come to think about it, I don't have the pain that I used to. And maybe those patches was working, and maybe I'm just thinking they're not working. And I said, well, Vicki, you paid for them. Why don't you try them some more and use what you got, and I'll call you back again. She goes, well, that's a great idea. Why should I waste my money, right? I said, yeah, exactly. I said, put that X39 on right now, because you're going to create your stem cells, and let's see what happens to you.
Good deal. Yeah, love it. That's the follow-up, girl. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You doing some follow-up?
I'm going to do, well, I've got a gal that I ran it, that started talking to me when I went into the FedEx store the other day. And I'm going to send her some information. I think she got on the call last night. And yeah, just some follow-ups. And
our team is wonderful. What do we have in our team? We have our testimony every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. People come in and they listen to
share.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's typically 200 to 300 people on during the week. And yeah, it's just amazing stuff people talk about. That it's just they've gotten their life back. I hear it time and time again. It's given them their life back. Even just being reminded of Marcy's story last night. Marcy was sitting in a recliner, dying. She had suffered from stage 4 breast cancer, and it had come back, and it was the third time. And she was sitting in her recliner dying. And Dr. Donahue knocked on her door and said, I can't let you do this, and gave her some patches. And here Marcy is today with us, leading us and guiding us. Yeah. And the greatest thing about it is Marcy's done it. It's easy to duplicate. You just ask 3 people a day, follow up with 3 people a day, and invite them to a patching podcast or send them a recording. It's, the tools are there. It's a win-win, but you got to put the work in. Yeah. God is not going to, God blesses the actions is what I've learned. It doesn't matter what the action is, if it's a follow-up, if it's something coming from the heart, whatever it is, God's going to bless the actions. He's not going to not bless the actions. There has to be action.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Sorry, got a little sidetracked.
No, that's great. That's beautiful.
Oh, it's worth the work. It's the action, and like Vicki was telling me, the reason why she actually let me patch her that day was because she could feel my concern, and from the heart, she could feel it. She goes, honey, nobody's ever been that concerned about me.
Well, and that tears at your heartstrings, and that's how you have to just look at everyone as someone that's praying for that as well. And we don't know who they are. It's our job as the shepherds to sift through the flock and see who those people are.
That's right.
So it's great technology. It's a great time in this industry, in this arena. It's a great time with this company. It's a simple gift that you could give someone. A simple gift, a simple technology you can use to gain your health. He's got, he's got everything he does is patented. So it's not like someone can duplicate it or replicate it. It's all very well protected. And he'll continue inventing as long as he can keep us sharing and helping people get their health back. He can keep inventing, which is what we want. We want every divinely downloaded invention that man has, and we want it. We all want it because it's all from his heart in helping people live healthy. Because there's no reason why, he talks about it all the time, there's no reason why we can't live to be 150, 200 years old, 300 years old, like they are in the Bible. But we do have to take care of what we have. We have to take care of our body. We can't not take care of our body and expect to live that long. But if I could live to 150, 200 and be healthy as I am right now, amen.
Mhm.
Yes, because that means I've helped that many more people between now and the next 100 years.
Leah,
So, yeah,
you're on
it's
fire.
exciting.
You will.
I am on fire. It's passion. It's
Yeah.
passion. And I know that it comes across in everybody I meet every day.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I walk in and I'm a little beam of light, and I think people can feel it because I'm excited. How are you? Things are always working out for me. That's what I know. How are things for you? You know, when you say that to someone, they're going to, number one, they're going to be shocked. And then what, but number two, watch what starts happening in your life. Things are going to always start working out for you. So that's how I live. And
Yeah,
sure enough.
I look at people and I'm just like, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. I mean, my life has changed because the way that we see people now, it's just, can I help you? You know?
Yeah. Well, and that's where you put their name in the book. And then when we're ready to come back to them, you'll know exactly what to do and how to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
But their name goes in a book. And maybe you don't reach out to them right then, but anytime you think of someone yet and what they're doing to the website, it's going to hopefully be rolling out at the beginning of February, hopefully.
What are they
I think
doing?
it's already rolled out in the UK. We're going to be able to completely personalize our website completely with what we want at the top, our story, whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
It's going to be amazing.
Really?
Yeah, the tools that are available, we're always building and finding new tools. Anything we can do to help people make it easier. We want to, number one, we want it to be duplicatable. If it's not duplicatable, people aren't going to want to do this. We know the benefits of it. And, you know, the rest of it, it's really a learn as you go business. You don't have to know how to do all the things because we're going to guide you. Someone's going to guide you. Someone that went before you is going to take you there with them if that's what you choose to do. That's simple.
Yes, you've helped me a lot, I have to say. Leah's always there for me. Hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Do you need any help? And that right there teaches me that I can say that to other people. Hey, what can I do for you? Do you need any help?
Well, and that's one of the things is you've got to be continually open to receiving, and you've got to be continually open to growing. Mm-hmm. There's no time I am not growing. Journaling. What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for all my international teams in 80 countries because that's where I'm going. Mm-hmm. Here's, you know, what do people read? I think I've got my book in here. The book I'm reading right now was recommended was a gift from Dr. Stacy. You've got to grow your mindset if you want to grow the rest of it.
Bring it up a little bit. Harry, who wrote that? Up. Harry Ecker. Oh.
T. Harry.
Yes.
T. Harv.
T. Hart?
Yeah. Harv. Ecker.
Oh, Harv.
Yeah. Did y'all see my patch I put on there yesterday? I took mine off, my glutathione.
I love it.
I put my glutathione patch on there. That's key. That's key. I never understood what this meant until now. I mean, literally, there's so many parallels in my life now and what I'm doing with this business that are parallel stories to a lot of stories in the Bible. And it's when you read that, like what I read this morning, in my daily devotional, my Jesus Calling book this is my daily Bible. Mm-hmm. It teared me up. It's like it's surreal sometimes.
Absolutely.
The parallels.
How it's coming together, right? It's really meshing
exactly the way it's supposed to. Yeah,
it's beautiful. Absolutely.
I always believe everything happens for a reason, right? Like how Patty got into the patching, and I met Patty a few years ago when I did a drumming in New York. And I did a meditation drumming there. And so I met her, and then a friend of ours introduced us once again, and Patty called me, and I was going to an event, and she, ended up saying, "Hey, look at what we got." And I said, "I'm really busy right now, right?" So I went to that event, and I stood there and I looked at all the people, and I do my own herbal system and create my own herbs and take them to different places. And I heard, the creator say, "What can you do more for people?" And I said, "Well, maybe I can do a lot more for people. I'm standing here in the middle of this ice arena. You put me right in the middle for a reason, right? As my light is shining and getting brighter here, I'm the brightest part of this area right here. Everybody around me is not so bright, right?" And I was like, let me see. Let me really think about this. What can I do for people? Well, what I can do is share. And he said, I heard, "Well, okay, what can you change?" And I'm like, "Well, that person, you can tell that he has inflammation. She's overweight. The lady across from me just stared at me forever. She just stared, and she goes, 'You're wide open to everything.'" And I said, "Well, you have to be wide open to receive. You can't be closed to receive."
Amen. Amen.
And to be able to see those beautiful people that need that assistance.
That's right.
And understand that you're here for a bigger purpose. And some of us
building relationships.
And some of us haven't even tapped in to what we're actually here for. And if we have, we've done it at a later state of our life. And then we're like, well, we didn't get our mission done. But in reality, our mission is to help each other. It's a helping each other relationship and moving forward into loving the self.
Other.
And in that, you love everything else that you do.
Absolutely.
So the beautiful part is just being you.
And that's why we can connect more. We have more in common. It's not just us. I'm not talking about me, myself, and we're really sharing stories about other people that we can connect with. And this is the biggest movement that is the most important, that we should connect with others and align with them. And, a lot of
those relationships,
yes. And help each other, lift each other up. A lot of people are lonely, they have problems, and they're really
they're praying for what we have.
That's right.
They're praying for what we have.
Yeah.
Well, girls, it's been a great time hanging out with you guys.
Absolutely.
Let me know when you post something that's got part of our stuff in it.
Absolutely, Leah.
Oh, yeah.
You're a blessing. You're a blessing. May the light of the universe always accompany you. Yeah.
I feel the same about both of you ladies.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be on this journey with you guys.
You have an amazing time.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming in our show. Have a great day.
You are so welcome. Y'all too, ladies. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.